listening. You can check them all out on my SoundCloud and on Bandcamp. So why not go over to fightbelow5.uk and check out our YouTube tutorials as well.
Hello everybody. So it's 7:30 on the 28th of January. It is a Tuesday. And we're back in the void. Do you know what? I'm going to fix it live. Okay, so basically what's happened here is this HDMI cable needs to come out and go back in. And then Mr. El Gato needs to start working. Get your life together, mate. Hey. And we fixed it, but I'm on a white background, which isn't the best. It's a little bit better. A little bit better. There we go. Alright. Hello, everyone. First of all, thanks for joining. It's another day with AI. DeepSeek is huge, and we're all sort of just still vibrating from the shockwaves, I think. Everyone's still scrambling to figure out what the best way to use it is, and so last night we spent hours looking at all these different things that we like to try out with, you know, what things we do with LLMs, making prompts, writing, just anything like that, writing code, that kind of thing. So before I get into the intro for what we're doing tonight, let's say hello to everybody. Hello Fernicar, Battlecruiser operational as always. Hello Electronic Music Art Collective, says cheers. Electrolab says he's already liked the stream, it's peaceful. Thanks everyone for thanks everybody for rolling in. Throttle says victory, as far as I can see it in the emojis. Finicus says can't wait. Yeah, sorry to keep you guys waiting tonight. Had to go an extra half hour because I was doing things. You can see them all here. I was doing strange things and it took forever. and I wanted to see what the results was going to be. Hello, Full Dive Media. It says, hi, how are you doing today? Well, I'm doing great, actually. Like I said, I've been reeling from this dental work I had done last week. It was pretty crazy in the end, but getting better every day. So we still managed to get all the streams in. I get a bit of research in before and after. So, but I'm not doing full days at the minute. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like half in the game at the moment due to that. But I'm sure in a week or two I'll be back to full strength. But I actually feel fine. It's just like, oh, you get tired. You need to go to sleep more. That's all it is. Right then, I think it's probably the antibiotics. I don't know. Anyway, Throttle says, good evening. Good evening. And Electrolab gives us the wave. All right then. So what are we doing tonight? Well, I got a whole bunch of crazy stuff to show you. But I want to cover a couple of things first. So, for example, while we're on the subject of DeepSeek, there is something called Llama, a DeepSeek image model, okay? Seems to have, I mean, look, this is my custom workflow already, okay? Project name, seed control, and then it's driven, so it's image to image, but it's automatic because it has its own vision type module, right? So I've loaded an image, described it, that goes into, and then all I'm doing is I'm showing a portrait of a man in armor with a big gun, which anyway, the point is it's not actually image to image. You see what I mean? This is actually describe image to text. And so I did one which isn't what the describe is and one that is. So that's what this really is. It's describe, vision, describe. Florence, basically. But I guess they built it into the model, which is kind of cool. What else? It comes in a 1 billion and a 7 billion. I would be showing you loads of cool images about this amazing new model that's come out. But here's the thing. Comfy just crashes. When you try to load the checkpoint, it just crashes. It says, yes, a big gun. That can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but I think I have that caption nailed. But yeah, it didn't work. It just crashed as soon as it tried to run, guys. So I don't know if Comfy needs to do an update. I don't know if the people that made the nodes... need to do an update. Here's this 2 hours ago. No idea. Someone got further than me, though. I did run the installation, so I don't know why. What? Model loader version that converts to safe tensors automatically downloads required models. I mean, the weird thing is, I have all the models, but when it tries to load them, it's like loading shards. See the shards stuff? And then it's like, ugh, I'm dead. And just kills itself in the prompt. So I was like, well, that's unfortunate. So I'll probably come back to this. But yeah, we got to keep an eye on DeepSeek Llama. Gotta love it. The names they come up with. Also, I got a big thing to stick up on top of my head. There we go. This would be the results of the videos that I generated from the DeepSeek video prompts. So we did a local video prompt generator with DeepSeek last night, and we generated a bunch of cool drift car videos, and then I put the videos into Hunan. So yeah, we generate the video locally with the DeepSeek prompts. So yeah, it's a nice little test. I think the images are actually I think they're like about that big, really. I think that's what they really are. I'll put it there. Alright, so I'm going to disappear for a bit. Oh, before I do, don't forget, like the video or like the stream, because we don't exist if you don't like the stream. And also, what we have here is the Discord. The Discord has a bunch of stuff, so you can like post and share all of your things. We've got a new custom node chat where people are posting custom nodes, which is not lots of fun. We might even have a little bit of time to look at some of these, but basically you know, I encourage you guys to go ahead and get crazy, get creative, and post them up. If anybody wants to join us, the link is in the description. Okay. So then, what else have we got to say? Oh yeah, that's right. I started looking up a bunch of... So I've started doing much more research into this DeepSeek business, and it turns out there's like a wealth of information. So it takes... Listen, guys, the weird thing is there's much more research that goes on, like just having to ferret around and find information, you know? So sometimes it's just good documentation is a blessing, right? But it's difficult because you're trying to do things that maybe aren't documented, right? But most of it should be. Yeah, the videos are looking good. Yeah, thanks, Full Dive. And yes, shards bad, says Electrolab. And thanks for the like, Fernicar. Appreciate it. Okay. So, what are we doing? Well, what I want to touch on tonight is loads of stuff. So I want to talk about things for a bit, because otherwise, you know, we don't have time to actually do them all because it's a setup time. But it's an introduction. So obviously, we need to talk about Hunan 3D without blocking the cars. We need to talk about Hunan 3D, guys. Okay. And then we're going to be jumping over to DeepSeek as soon as I've covered this sort of stuff. Alright? Oh, by the way, I have got... Will it show it to me? That's Hunan. Hunan. GSL filters. Oh, okay. Well, you saw the video pyramid generator that we made with DeepSeek last night. We did our easy animate another time. Phase shaper. Where is it? VHS converter. Don't tell me it's gone. Ah, I bet it's in one of these little micro tabs. Yes. Right. I did make a new custom node, but I don't think it's been pushed yet because I haven't done the documentation. I only just finished it today. It's called depth-based pixelization. Okay. And I used Zoe, but I think you can just use any depth map. It has an invert, there is a depth influence, and then there are block sizes. And so what it'll do is it will take a video, right? So video input, right? I'm resizing it to 768 so it matches the depth map. But typically, I doubt, well, I don't know what size you're working with, but that's what I've tested it with. And to be honest, this could probably be better because at the moment, the depth map doesn't seem to quite fit. I like the effect, but it's probably something to do with my code because I did have it try to align, self-align, and I think maybe it's a bit wonky, but it's something I'll look at. But it does work pretty good, so the idea is that things that are closer will pixelize more or less depending on whether you invert it or what the small and large block sizes are. It goes a bit weird if you make the gap too big, so if you go like 8 and 32, which I think the default is, it looks a bit weird, but if you reduce the difference and move them around, you'll find a nice spot. So I'm not going to run it right now. What I'll do is I'll just show it you in here. Looks like that. That's one of our old demo videos from a different video. So you can see there's a bit of ghosting around the shoulders where I think the depth map doesn't quite fit. But you can see it's less pixelized here, almost blurred. But then here it's more pixelized. So yeah, it was just a little idea I came up with. I was like, hang on a minute, we could have a depth map input, which is just a sequence of images from a processor. And that unlocks a whole bunch of new effects. Like, I could do a canny filter and then do, you know, effects to only the edges. So you could do edge glow and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just coming up with different ideas for manipulating the pixels, basically. Let's see, checking out the comments. It seems OpenRouter devs nailed DeepSeek from the start. Yeah, they did. I've been using OpenRouter for my DeepSeek tokens. They're cheap. I do think though that there's a different a different DeepSeek model which I haven't tested yet, which is more expensive because it's not quantized. So I do want to try that one out today and see. It's still cheaper than ChatGPT and Claude by a lot. I think it's like 10 to 20 times cheaper instead of 40 times cheaper, but it's still, you know. What else have we got? Melting Province, hello, welcome, thanks for joining. Full Dive Media says, oh, I saw the 3D, forgot to mention it on Discord. Yes, the 3D, that's what we're about to talk about briefly. Does that mean, Fernicar says, does that mean the next node will be parallax movement instead of pixelation? Well, I don't know, that's a good suggestion. I hadn't even thought of doing parallax movement. The way I was thinking about doing it was adding in a mask node and mask controls, so you could say pass in a mask and then have it only do depth pixelation on the mask or the background. I think that would have been a really cool effect as well. So then it's like, don't touch the background or don't touch the character, depending on if you inverted it. So I think, I don't know, that was the direction I was going to go in, but you know, yeah, you could do parallax movement instead. I've never even done I don't think I've even done a parallax movement plugin. But yeah, it's all stuff worth thinking about. I was thinking we might do like a suggestions box, and also we might take a look at somebody else's video tonight and then just basically follow along and do what he's doing. One thing I did want to do was get out a tutorial on the main channel about the various ways you can get DeepSeek installed, because there's got to be a whole bunch of different ways, so we'll probably take a look at that after we've looked at this, although it will just be a discussion. I'm not going to like actually I've already got them all, so, but yeah, I think that would be something useful. I wanted to get that out today, but I didn't have time, so hopefully tomorrow that'll come out. But anyway, let's get on and get talking. So first of all, thank you everyone for sticking around tonight. We've already taken a look at a bunch of stuff, but I just want to have a brief chat about Hunan 3D. All the videos that you're watching right now were generated with Hunan using a DeepSeek video prompt generator that we run on a local machine. Okay, so they're not bad. Sometimes it does weird stuff, but Hunan does sometimes do weird stuff. It does a pretty good job though. See? Every now and then it's like glitching, but it's pretty good. Anyway, Hunan 3D. So it was funny. I was about to like start making a whole bunch of different 3D tools, and I was like starting to research, oh, how could we make like load 3D models, and I know that there are already nodes for this, okay, so, but I'm just starting to get to grips with how it all works, because I was like, 3D is going to be, this year is going to be all about 3D. I know that it's going to be dominated by advances in video. We've all seen it, it's getting better all the time, but here's the thing, 3D, good video plus depth plus depth, point clouds and nerfs, and before you know it you've got 3D, right? And so what they've done is they've just wrapped all of that into a single model, essentially, right? That's the way I see it. I mean, look, I might be wrong, but the way I see it, it's kind of like a bridge to the next thing. And as you can see here, look, Comfy UI 3D pack, Comfy Hunan 3D wrapper. Right, Hunan 3D 2.0. So we might even be able to do it, but the point is, I was thinking to myself, isn't this time? Because look, I'm not afraid to show where my weak points are. I don't use Blender much. I used to use Maya and 3ds Max. So I'm not really used to Blender. I think probably the last time I used Blender was about 10 years ago, and even then I was like, what do I do? So it would be an interesting thing to muck about with from the perspective of I'm learning it as well, which is an interesting little sort of change of pace. But the point I'm trying to make here is, you know, like I know how to open it, and I know what I need to do. I just don't know where the buttons are. That's the problem, or what the hotkeys are. So I would be learning it as well. But I think it might be an interesting time to just jump into Blender, not like tonight, but I think it might be a good excuse to get Blender for Hunan 3D. Obviously, I will look into doing it with Comfy, but I think that what will happen is you'll be able to make good models, but then you'll need to bring them into Blender, because there's other features that Blender has, like optimizing the mesh and fixing holes and all this kind of stuff, which is just awkward to do in Comfy. So I think this is why I thought we'd have a little chat about this, because we don't cover Blender on my channel, right? But when I do the live streams, we pretty much just do whatever we need to get what we want to do done. And often Hunan, it's related to one of our most favorite video models right now, so we can't not look at it. Obviously there's going to be some like online web service, I'm sure. See, don't forget to visit this site. Do I need to register with a Chinese phone number? Grievous. Well, we'll look into that another time. But the point is, like, yeah, Hunan 3D. So let's take a look at the custom nodes here real quick. I'm not downloading them. I'm just reading. We're just reading. Can be installed directly from Comfy Manager. Alternatively, you can use Comfy 3D Win Portable. What? What the heck's that? Comfy 3D Pack. Comfy 3D Pack. Make 3D asset generation good and convenient as it generates image and video. Extensive node suite enables Comfy UI to process 3D inputs, mesh, UV texture, using cutting-edge algorithms, 3D GS, NERF, Instant Mesh, CRM, OSR. Interesting. Can be installed from Comfy Manager. So, looks like Comfy. He's queued up an image which has no background, which we know all about that bit. What's that? Load trellis structured 3D Latent models. Do you know what? Mr. Super Fake Name was on at me. You need to check out trellis, and then he said to me, no, it's obsoleted now. So hang on, here we go. Oh well, let him cook. It's only a minute long. Are we going to have to watch the whole video to see the inference here? Is it really going to... Come on, where's the image? Okay, it looks like that. That's not bad, though. If you rigged that and had it moving around in a small scale... Yeah. So, what's this one, then? So this is the new... This is Hunan 3D. The other one was Trellis. This is Hunan 3D V2, which is the one everyone's talking about. So it's made a very, very high-quality course model there. No, get out of town. No. Looks a bit sketchy round the back, but solid up front. Super solid showing out up front. That's actually crazy. The back was a little bit of a cursed mess, but let's have a look again. See that? See, this is why you end up... That's probably one of the best image to 3D workflows I've seen in Comfy. That's actually crazy. And this is V1. You should have used the same Squirrel Girl thing, so it's comparable. Oof. See, that's not good. See, I can see why people were like, trellis. This was November, right? We're now in January. So what? 2.5 months? 1.5 months? I don't know. The point is, less than 2 months, maybe. Don't know. Maybe less than 3. Whatever. a quarter of a year and we get this. So delight, dip, paint. No idea what any of it means. What does it mean? Single image to multi-view, multi-view to 3D mesh. Yeah. It's just the back image. See, I actually worked on a bunch of this stuff for a 3D mesh company, and the problem was always the back, because it doesn't really have a clue what the back is, and they were like, we tried so many ways to the models just needed to be better, basically. The back is looking good because there's no data and it created it on its own, says Full Dive Media. It's true, the back does look, but that's what I'm saying, like for this one here, this is spectacular. The back actually looks crazy good. Hang on, he should have held on it. See, it's a bit of a mess back there. But it's nothing that you couldn't just easily clip out or polish by hand in seconds, and you didn't have to make the whole thing. That's the difference. Instead of spending a day making that from scratch, right? Let's be honest, the amount of edits and revisions that you need to get to that point. Whereas just fixing that bit by hand, it's like a whole different universe of work, amount of work. And if it's close to what, because you've got to think, this theoretically is your image anyway, so it's like, I made this, whatever this is, I'm happy with this, to get, and that mesh was detailed as well, it had loads of detail to it, so I don't know if they smooth it off and you lose it, you know, when it does the painting. I don't know what it's doing, but again, it's painting the model. I mean, I can only hope, look, it does take the image, so it's like, maybe it does a UV unwrap and then tries to map the texture back onto it. So there's so much going on in that. Anyway, so yeah, bottom line is, I might be thinking like, oh yes, let's get Blender and this and set it up and so on. So yeah, give it a couple of days, I'll probably have it set up and we can have a little mess around with that. But I do want to look at it in Comfy, so that's on the watch list. Okay. Obviously we've talked about Janus. Or is it Janus? I don't know how they want us to say it. Does anybody know? Obviously the videos that you're watching right now, they're just coming out of Hoda, Hunan, text to video, and I'm using GJF Q8 with all defaults. Oh, for some reason I had Alfman loaded. That'd be funny if you ended up with an Alfman. Oh no, it's just an old workflow. It's not the actual one I was making the cars with. Alf in the drift cars. Well, that would be something. Video pyramid generator was something we made on the stream using DeepSeek. Now, I just want to go over ways you can get DeepSeek running. So let's take a quick stab at that, shall we? The first place I would go to is Olama, because it's got Mac OS, Linux and Windows support. As far as I know, you don't need to run Docker or anything like that. It will just run at your command line. So when you click download, you're going to pick your system, maybe put your email address in, I don't know, but I'm just going to download it, install it, and it will install itself to command line. So you can see here I'm using Olama, right? Help. Okay. So hopefully that's easy to read. I'm sorry if it's not. Alf Schumacher says Full Dive Media. That's right. Oh, we've missed some comments. So Electrolab says you can use a tool called Sculptress to fix the mesh texture paint with painting. It's dead easy to use. When relevant, I'll remind you. Thank you. It lets you make brushes out of images too. That's interesting. Full Dive Media says, I hope it can take a few images from a model to build a good 360 3D model. That's interesting. It's an interesting idea. Right. Let me just get back to what I was doing. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I think it can. I think it can, Full Dive. I think that's where we're headed anyway, because, yeah. What I want to do is I want to have the ability to use the images of my choice so I can really work on the best image projections, but I guess there's a trick to it, right? Okay. So, obviously I don't use serve. I use run. That's the first thing. The second thing is what I've been doing a lot lately is the create command, okay? And the reason I've been doing the create command is because I've been doing a custom model file. So it's funny, it doesn't actually make a copy of the model. It just kind of clones a reference to it. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. So if I just say right here, Olama list, yeah. So we have all our different DeepSeeks down here. We have DeepSeek R1 32B. We have DeepSeek R1 Custom, which is the one I made with the larger attention window. Or what do they call it? A token window. DeepSeek R1 32B Quen Distill Q4, right? Because I wanted to see the difference between 32B Q4 and 14B Q8, right? And we'll probably be looking at that a little bit more as well. Turns out there is a 70 billion Q2, which is 26.5 gigabytes. It's just a little bit too big to fit. And I did start downloading it, but then I was like, So I'm thinking I'll go the other way now. So instead what I'll do is I'll get lower quantized, less parameters to test. Because it's kind of like a balancing act. But some people say that Q2 is barely distinguishable from Q4 and Q8, but the difference being that sometimes actually Q2 gives better answers. And I was like, wait, what? So it's like, that's interesting. So there's actually a whole area of research going down there. But yeah, this is my model file at the moment. So what I'm doing is I say, I think that's just a comment to be honest, but if I use there's no file extension, it's just model file. I open the terminal here, right? So I'm in my tools test. So there's the model file. So I'm like, my command line is in where that is, all right? And then I just say from DeepSeek R1, so that's the model that you want to do this with. It could be anything, right? Any model that you have. Because look, it's weird. It says it's 19 gigabytes, and this is 19 gigabytes. But the thing is that it didn't fill my hard drives up. So I'm guessing that, well, it is filling my hard drives up actually. But the point is that, like I said, I don't really need all of these. I'll probably delete some later. But, like for example, I don't really need code Quen. So if I wanted to get rid of that, this is a good example, right? So I'll just go Olama RM, and then now I have to type that code Quen. Whoops. Code Quen 7B chat v 1.5 q8 _0. Oh, I spelt it wrong. Fat fingers. There we go. It's gone now. Right. Refresh. And it didn't change the size. I mean, Maybe I need to like, hang on, let me see if I just need to refresh the, oh no, icons, quick, quick, put them back into the shadow realm. There we go. Barely changed. So I just deleted, you know, 5 GB, no, a 7 GB model. It barely made a dent. So I'm not convinced that it's entirely honest about, you know, this, because I don't know. But I got a lot of models anyway, so let's just move on. We've shown you how you can delete them. Obviously, Llama lists them. So how do you actually get the damn thing? So you've installed your Llama, you've opened it with the start menu, and it's running in the taskbar, you know, down at the bottom over here somewhere, right? You'll see it there. And now you can just open up this anywhere. I've chosen to use this folder because it had my make file in it, my model file, sorry, which again looked like this. Now, I'm still learning this, so there's loads of different ways you can do it. Like I learned, obviously, you can have a parameter for the context window. All right, so that was something we were talking about last night on the stream. Obviously, you can make this higher or lower, but I think it does cost you system RAM because it went over the thing. Where are we? Here. When I was looking at the GPU load, I mean, right now it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Shared 0.1. It's not really using it. Okay. But when we burst into action in a minute, you'll be able to see the difference. There we go. So, yeah, like I said, so what I did was I wrote this file and then I did system, and remember this, 3 quotes is multi-line, okay? So that means that, I'm going to say system, so this is the system prompt. You see what I mean? But it's kind of like wrapped into the model, you know? So it's like directly jacked into his brain, I guess. So I've said what I've said, be a pirate. Right? Now, he's always going to think first, but then the response he gives is really good. So I've still got a lot to figure out, but this is really nice for a lot of reasons. But the first thing I wanted to show you was this. So, like, for example, say I've already got a pirate model which was built on the 32B Quen Distill Q4KM. But what if I did it on this version instead, which is probably, or maybe I'll use the custom version this time, right? So you can use anything you want. But I'm going to say I'm going to do it with the custom version, right? I'll just save that. So he's going to base it on that, but he's going to bake this instruction with this parameter into the model file. And then all I have to do is use the create command. There it is. And I'm going to call it Pirate 2 because I'm super original today. So, yeah, the difference being the first pirate is based on distilled Q4 KM, whereas this one is based on custom, which was originally based on 32B. They're all the same, basically, just slightly different. Yeah, and so that's the command you use. Olama, create the name of the model that you want to save it as, and then -F, and then model file, which is the name of the file that we wrote. Okay. And then running it is as simple as saying run. Like that. Yeah, and then it's broken. So now we're in. Okay, now when we're in, we can do this. And it will tell us we can set variables, we can show model information, we can load a different model, we can save this current session, which is an interesting one. Because I was thinking about that, I was like, so hang on a minute, if I had like a really long conversation with the model and then, you know, saved it. Is that like baked into it now? I don't know. It's probably not that easy. It's probably just like a little file, a little save file. I don't know. I've never done it. And then I think you can do /? for a command. So let's go. Do I do? I'm used to doing dashes, so you'll have to forgive me. It's not that. Set. No. No. I just wanted to see if there was like additional help. It says help for a command. Oh wait. No, I'm reading my own mistakes. Help for keyboard shortcuts. What? Huh. Control C stops the model. That's interesting. Right. Well, anyway. Obviously, if you want to quit, you say bye. So, let's just show you what it actually does anyway. So, I'll say... Tell me your best tale of piracy on the 7 seas. He'll think. And look, we're over the shared GPU already. Look, we're already 9 gigabytes of shared. 32 total. 22.7 on the card. You can start seeing it chug out my VLC. And it's slow as well. You see how it's kind of just ticking along? And I think it's because I'm running the 32 billion parameter in Q4 on a 4090, which is 20 gigabytes. But then if you add the attention window and everything else, it goes over 24. So the system RAM has to take up the strain, and then you end up with a choke point on the motherboard. But that's just my theory. I don't know if that's true. That's what I suspect. So this is why I was thinking about, while we're waiting for this to chug, that's why I was thinking about perhaps choosing to go with a small model, even though 32 billion fits, it does fit and run on the model, but you can see the rate it works at. Yeah. So I was wondering, is it always this speed? Which is fine, you know, you can just... But if it's not, it might, because I don't know, I feel like maybe I've got a little bit of a shared GPU slowdown thing going on. And if I'm right, then, I mean, you guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that it's slowing down because of the overflow, I guess you could call it? It's the wrong word, but that's something else. But, you know, the fact that it's kind of paging the memory, I think that perhaps that's what it is. Because it was faster on API, which doesn't make any sense. I'm connected directly to the model. I mean, maybe that does make sense and I just have the wrong concept in my head, but CPU? Yeah, I figure it's a CPU bottleneck, because check out my CPU, it's just a blue wall. He's like, help, please. This is why you have to get a better computer if you buy a 5090, because it's just... Pause playback on the video. Paused. Didn't even break a sweat. It barely did anything. You didn't even notice. But it was worth it, I guess. Hang on, where's the GPU specs gone? It's doing well, isn't it? Look at him go, though. He's still thinking. He's still planning. Look, he's still planning. And this is going to be really important when I get further into the show tonight. We're going down a path tonight. So, because the amount of stuff... Because I wanted to show you what it runs like local. Okay? See what it can do on local mode. And then I've got a bunch of little like command line tricks. But that's important because if you can use std in or whatever, the sd in or whatever, if you can use that, string in or whatever. Whoa. Look at him still planning it away. He's so good. I'm actually really impressed. This quality is really good. But anyway, like I was saying, I keep going off on tangents. If I drop down to 14B, right, it's 9 gigabytes. 9 gigabytes at Q4. I did wonder, and I do have 14 billion in Q8. I think I showed you that in the list. Because normally all of these models are in Q4. And so I was like, well, do I really need 32 billion? You know what I mean? If it's the Q4 32 billion, is that the same? Like obviously Q4, anyway, whatever. It gets really confusing because you've got all these different things going on. But you have the number of parameters of the model. Obviously, the more parameters you have, the more capable the model will be. That's elementary. But then the thing that kind of makes it a bit confusing is the quantization, because look, this isn't all of the models. Yeah, this isn't all the models. This is all the models. So the most popular version, the one that everyone is picking up, is a 7 billion version. 4.7 gigabytes. I think it's that one. I think that's the one most people are picking up, which is very capable, right? Now I've been using the 70 billion version in the cloud, but it's not that one. Where is it? This is the thing we were all like trying to figure out. Is the 70 billion that you get on API the FP16, which is 141 gigabytes? And I was like, probably not if you get the cheap. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. If I go into Climb and I go into the settings, what's he doing? Is he updating or something? Okay. If I go into the settings and click on the model here, right? It tells you how much they are. So Claude 3.5 is about $4 $3 for the input. You can see the price, $15 for the output per million tokens. This is, yeah. So if I just get rid of the Anthropic option here, it's struggling, isn't it? Right. If I now get DeepSeek, right. There's all these different DeepSeeks. So you got DeepSeek R1, DeepSeek Free, DeepSeek Nitro. I don't even know what that one is. I read about it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Point is, we were using this one, DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama 70 billion, which is cheap. Going from $15 to 69 cents. I mean, I know it's per million, but it's an insane difference. So, but here's the thing. What if we went with R1? That's $7. So guess what? When I was doing my testing on the API to DeepSeek, I was actually using like one of their quantized API models, not the full. Look at this. So this one is 671 billion parameters. So I haven't even tested this yet, right? So that's one thing we got to do. And there's a bit of a sneaky trick which we actually stumbled on just at the end of the stream before last, which is that you do the planning with this model, and then you swap it over to Claude 3.5 for the actual coding, because apparently Claude 3.5 is still the best for coding. In the case of coding, if you're not coding, well, I guess we can just see what DeepSeek can do, right? We're not doing that. Okay, so let's get back to our pirate and see how he's getting on. Okay, so from the end of the /think, he's no longer thinking. So this is now all response. And you might know, like, why does he stop every now and then? Apparently this is an emergent capability. He figured out that if he pauses for a second, sometimes he'll do better. And so without them asking him to do it, that's why it doesn't just fly through. Sometimes you'll see it pausing. It's not broken, it's a feature. He thinks about it for a second and then carries on. Makes sense, I have to do that sometimes. So as you can see now, he's telling us a story. Now, if you remember, I said, tell me your best tale of piracy on the 7 seas. And I programmed him to think that he is the most famous pirate in all the 7 seas, right? And he's going to speak funny and be in character, essentially. And you might wonder to yourself, why did I do it like this? Because I could have just prompted that, and there's a reason. This is like my first sketchy attempt at making... This is the pirate agent. All he is, this is all this model does. Me and Mr. Super Fake Name were talking about this, and we had this idea. And so I could have many DeepSeek R1s, all programmed to be different characters. And then I can write some script, and what the script will do is it will run the commands into Olama, right, and then append the results obviously to a draft. But the point is, all it is it's consulting each of the characters on the storyline. And I even had this crazy idea to make an agent that is the environment. So all he does is describe himself. So when there are characters and they're saying things, the scene is constructed in context. It's like a context-aware environment. So one of the characters is actually the environment, and he describes himself. And then what you do is you do like a ring of roses or something, and you'll end up with them all interpolating on the piece of text you're working on. And then what you could do is you could just dictate what happens, have predefined characters and locations, and then allow the AIs to figure out what they want to do and what they want to say while all it being in character. So it's like the beginnings of an interesting chain type. It's like a chainer type thing, but built with DeepSeek. That's the plan. And so I was wondering, because obviously it is, because it's just one model running in series. You don't run them all at once. You only run one at a time. And it's kind of like Chinese whispers, really. But I'm sure there's clever ways of writing Python to scan a text and then have it interface with this. So, but anyway, so here we have it. Captain Eowyn O'Connor. That's his name. Okay, so we've got our thing. Now, obviously, that took a while, didn't it? You see what I'm trying to say? So what I want to do before I go on is I want to try out one of these smaller models, right? So let's just do Olama list. And remember, you can grab any of the ones you want, yeah? But I would recommend keeping the name of the model, and maybe even I probably should have kept the number of parameters too, because it's sort of like, oh well, I don't know which one is it. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the 15 gigabyte 14 billion Q8. I'm going to switch to this one here. So we're going to take a copy of that, get my model file. Full dive media. Oh, I missed some stuff. Ah, right, so the output for the model was slightly faster if I stop the video. Good point. Well, it's finished now, so I can, start the video again. But yeah, thanks, Throttle. Electrolab said, small model, have it run a talking avatar with face and emotions. Even if dumb, it's funny. Full Dive says, if the character agents can also talk, you can just sit back and listen to a story. NC17Z said that DeepSeek 14B is the sweet spot. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking too. I'm on 14B Q8. Are you running Q4? How do you find that is versus Q8? Because that's the one I've got at the moment. I reckon we'll probably get the Q4 after this. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pirate who is a Q8 14 billion. And see how his speed is, right? So let's just, because these are easy to make, okay? And so what I want to do, as a matter of fact, we've got a couple characters we could just pull out of a hat as well on the GitHub already. But I need to do a delete. Probably delete. Wait. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. We'll delete these pirates because they're slow. They're good, but slow. So yeah, RM. Oh, I forgot. That could have been dangerous. Typo Llama. 14B is Quen, not Olama, right? Yes. So maybe we need to get a different one. See, that's the thing. There's so many of these things. Let me have a look. I've got not Llama. No, yeah, not Llama. So you're saying Llama Distill might be better than Quen Distill? So you look at that, 6 Q8, 6 days, 713 gigabytes, and week. There's also a GJUF version of 14B. Yeah, I know, we get into the weeds. I'm only using these ones for now because I'm sort of like semi-showing how you can do it. Like, I know there's other ways you can get the models, but I'm trying to keep it to, this is nice and easy. Anybody can do this. So in fact, let's take that opportunity. So look at this, 7B Quen Distill FP16 and it's only 15 gigabytes. That's crazy. Look, there's one here, is Llama, and it's 16 gigabytes for the FP16. It's not even, do you know what I mean? I mean, it's floating point 16, so it's not. But whatever, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I'm just saying, like, because I'm thinking about going smaller. Because like I said, every type of quantized model I've used, Q8 has always been the good boy. Q4 has worked, but has not been as good. So I don't know. I mean, look, that logic might not even apply. You know, I'll be honest, it might not even apply. Because it says latest. So what's the difference? Because like I said, I was getting that one. I got that one, which is 32 billion, 20 gigabyte. Because it would tell you here quantization 4, and it's Quen 2 architecture. I never tried the Llamas. I never tried the llamas, but then they're all too big. Are there any that are smaller? See, they didn't bother doing. There's no 32. Yeah, there's only the Llama Distill 8 billion, which is pretty small. Haven't seen 14 billion Llama. Yeah, no, nor 32. Missing in action, mate. But yeah, when I was looking at it and I was looking at the Quen Distills, I was like, that one's too big, right? So I took this one, 32-bit Quen Distilled 20G. Yep, that one was good. I enjoyed using that one a lot, but it's a bit slow. And I think it's because we just go over the top. It takes me to 32, so I need to get 10 gigabytes less, really. So in a way, maybe even that one is too big for me. So maybe I should get the Q4 version of 14 bil. But then it makes me wonder if I'm going to get that, because some people were telling me that two things. One, the best quality is the FP16 isn't always true. That's one thing they told me. And then the other thing, which kind of sort of doesn't confirm it but adds weight to it, was sometimes the Q2 is actually getting answers correct more often than the rest of them. So even though you seem to get better answers, it's like subjective. I heard from a lot of people that Q2 is actually sometimes good, and there are no Q2s here. But then when I went online, I found, I don't know if it's still up on this screen, maybe it's on a different page. I found a version of the 70 billion that was at Q2, and it was down to 25 point something. It was just a little bit too big. So sad. But the thing is, the API is so cheap. I wonder how long it'll stay that way. It might not stay that way, see. But yeah, so basically they've done a 70 billion Llama Q4, but they've done it in Q2. And it was, like I said, it was like way down. Or maybe it was Quen. I don't know which one it was, but the point is they got it down. Q8. Because these are all DeepSeek R1. It makes me wonder though, didn't DeepSeek 3 come out? Is that like been around forever? Or is R1 V3? I'm confused about this because I haven't seen DeepSeek V3 anywhere. Right, what if I say DeepSeek? Yeah, look, 2 weeks ago. So what, did this come out and nobody cared? Oh right, it's just massive. R1 is newer, yeah, but it's the reasoning model, isn't it? So it's supposed to be the reasoning version of this. Look how big it is. 404 gigabytes quantized in Q4. Jesus. Okay, so that's why nobody talks about that. Nobody's got the system to run it. Yeah, because basically they came out with this and then this came out of the blue and nobody expected it. Pretty impressive. But yeah, like I say, I'm thinking get a smaller model and check what the speed is like, because sometimes it's speed. Let's see, speed is what you want. So I think I've already got 14 bil Quen distilled Q8, which is 15. So I'm thinking get the Q4, which is even smaller. So, oh Llama. Let me just say run. And I've already actually, yeah, I didn't need to type it. Oh Llama run, and whatever it was, it'll just pull it for you. 9 gigabytes, so easy, so easy. You got to give credit to them because this is so easy. I've seen it. Sometimes it can be a right pain, and they do make it easy. So, credit where credit's due. What's the R5? I am Confucius. R5? What's R5? Tell me more, Electrolab. Did you see something I didn't see? As far as I can tell, we have Llama and we have Quen, distilled versions of in various quantizations, right? And I was wondering, you know, we've seen what the 32 billion can do. The Q4KM and the Q8, right? Not, yeah. But we haven't seen, because they get smaller, don't they? Obviously they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So yeah. Matt Wolf was talking about DeepSeek R5. Okay, well, I don't want to talk about things I don't know about. You know what I mean? There may be an R5 that I don't know what it is, right? But to my knowledge, R1 is their first reasoning model, which is why they called it R. But it's based on Llama and Quen. And sometimes, because everyone's like, how did they do this without, you know, basically everyone was panicking because they were like, how did they manage to make this without actually, you know, spending all the money and training it for years and all this? And it's because it was based on Llama and Quen. They even say it is. It's not a secret, but I think it's just that the journalists that report on the stuff don't really know what they're talking about, and then it turns into a massive Chinese whisper. There's that second reference to that now tonight. But yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining on the stream. Please like the stream. We don't exist if you don't like the stream. We're just looking at DeepSeek tonight. What we're going to be doing is pulling a smaller model this time. It's going to be 9 gigabytes. But remember, there are quantizations for almost every machine. You can get it down to 1 gigabyte, dudes. 1.5, 1.1 gigabyte, 1.5 Quen Q4. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I don't know how good it is, but this is one of the things I want to find out tonight, because it might be that the you know, less parameters, faster. Journalists, that's the best spelling. I use that. Fernicar, when was the last time the journalists knew what they were talking about? I don't know. I think, look, I like to think of it like this. If you go into a retail store, they probably know all about all these weird toasters and blenders, and so it's a bit like that. You know, you can't blame them for not being an expert, because they have to know about all this other pointless junk. And I think it's a little bit like that with journalists. You know, just to throw them a bone, they have to know about all this useless junk that nobody really cares about. And so, you know, you've only got so much room in your skull, right? Just trying to be charitable here. But yeah. Hello, Louis. Welcome, welcome. And welcome to everybody. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start chucking some more videos up here. I think this is probably played through at least once by now. Full Dive Media says, is Open Web UI needs to be online to work because needs Docker? Yeah, the reason that I don't do Open Web UI stuff in the same live show as the command line stuff is because it's a different setup, really. Like when you have Olama on the command line, you can just use it and it is just available to Klein, which is really all you need. Klein is all you need. I just put that forth. So hang on, let me just come back here. I'm going to create a new folder and just call it alpha, and then copy the path, come back to here. I want a fresh working environment, open folder. That's what I want. Do I trust me? Yes. I trust me. Okay, so we have Klein, and over here we have the full fat model. So we're gonna have it. We're gonna make it do some work in a minute, yeah. But before we do that, we're gonna check out something you can actually run on your local machine, because you know this is cheap, but it's not. It's only about half as cheap as ChatGPT and Claude. Well, ChatGPT is more expensive than Claude, but I think you get my point. If you're running the quantized DeepSeek model, the distilled Llama, it's like 69 cents per million tokens out. That's ridiculous. So this is amazing. I haven't used free. I don't know if it is free or whatever. I've only used that one. And so yeah, we're going to check out R1 last, but this is $7 per million, which is a little bit more reasonable. It's about half price, a little less than half price. Okay, but there's a, like I said, there's a trick to it. You do plan, well, okay. So when you're on the distilled Llama, we were doing plan, and then we were doing act, and we were swapping it back to Claude 3.5 Sonnet, right? So we have DeepSeek to still do the planning for next to nothing, right? And then actually have Claude do the last step. But what I want to see is, how does this do? Because this isn't quantized. So this is like the big question I've been trying to get to in all the tests lately. So anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that before the end of the show. So anyway, we finally got our new model. So what we're going to do is just do an Olama list. And I hope you can appreciate, you know, any model file instruction you can come up with goes in, right? Oh, sheesh. He's talking Chinese. Oh, I mean, look. I'm in Olama. I did an Olama. I did keep doing that. I'm actually in Olama. Bye. Right. It loaded the model immediately, and it's talking Chinese at me. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What just happened? I just want to do Olama list. That's where I'm at. I ran the command as a chat in, and he spoke a load of Chinese to me. What? Okay. So anyway, like I said, I've programmed this, like all this stuff. So what I want to do is I want to apply it to this one, the little one. So it's just a fun little pirate agent. That's all he is. Like that. Yeah. That should be fine. And so now when I do my create command, which is Olama create, and I'm gonna keep a few things here for myself. I should have called it DeepSeek R1, but do you know what? I might try that. We'll see what happens. No, we'll get in trouble. I think there's like a way of writing them. I don't know. I'm just trying to be reasonable. So yeah, the idea is to keep these stuff in. So 14BQ4. So 14BQ4 pirate. Horrible name. Okay. So at this point we get to do some fun stuff. So what now? I thought we were always doing fun stuff. It's not there. Where is it? Here we go. So we're going to go to the top. And let's just see what the speed is like, shall we? So obviously we've just made our ridiculously long name. I should have called it something short, like just pirate. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make another version of that and just call it pirate. I can delete the other one afterwards. There, easy. So now I've got one that's just called pirate : latest. Oh man, I wanted to make it shorter. Anyway, I suppose it is shorter, isn't it? So here's something I want to show you here. So from the command line we can run the command, right? And then we can type here in the name of the model, pirate latest. okay, which is my 14B Q4 Pirate LLM. And then I'll say, tell me how you saved, what is it? Saved your, wait, no. How you promoted, no, how you picked your, how you picked your ship's cook. Oh, this is much faster. Oh, I can feel the power. It looks fine. The output looks great. I'm scan reading, obviously, so there might be some weird stuff in there, but look at it go. That's what I'm talking about. So you look at from here. Ahoy there. Oh my god. That's a solid output. Yeah, it's a solid output. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, the smaller models, much faster. Do we have a log here? So it peaked at 20, which is what I want. So it's almost like you got to tune your overhead. You know what I mean? So like, basically, if you go over that 24, it gets real slow. So it's like not worth getting the 20 gig model, even though it will fit. Once you actually work with it, the attention window fills up the RAM. I mean, look, you can make your attention window smaller. Yeah. You can set a parameter for that, but so we're obviously going to look at OpenWebUI on a completely dedicated stream to OpenWebUI because it does deserve its own show. But I wanted to show you this first because there's so much we can do with this. So now this is fast. This is going to get interesting. So at the moment, all it is output in my console. I'd have to copy and paste. I'd have to copy and paste this into whatever project I'm working on. Right. So what happens when we want to say, I want it to actually work on a document, right? Now remember, we are running from, not running from there. We're running from, I think, test 2? No, test 1. Right, we're running from here. So we've got all these different files. Now I got here something which I made him write earlier. Tartuga V2. And I'll show you how he made all this later, but it's just stacks of Pirish, okay? And the idea is that he's just bragging. He's just bragging right now. He's bragging and lying about his adventures. And occasionally I got a bit of a weird character issue where it's like, that's supposed to be a space, I think. Same here, look. But this sort of thing is easily remedied. You just do a Control-C, Control-H, and then a blank space, replace all, get rid of that. So you can like snipe out weird stuff like that. I'm not, so I don't, literally it doesn't matter. And it, yeah, no, like maybe I could have pressed spacebar though, so I did mess that up. Let's do that again. Spacebar. Hey. So like, it's just a load of Pirish, which is great. This is what I asked for. So if I take a look at the prompts here, we got all these different options. Now the reason I'm showing you these is because this is, listen, I don't know if this is the best way to do it yet. There's probably better ways of doing this, but if you want to make like really simple like batch files, as long as Olama's running, it'll just do job, right? And that's like it's like the basis for the start of a programming idea. So I just want to run through all of these with you. So what I'm gonna do is change my prompt. Tell me how you handpicked your ships. I just did a Control-C. Haha. Whoops. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's update the prompt. Oh no, in fact, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it properly, okay? So we'll copy this, and the name of the file, which is in this folder, is Tartuga v2. All right. I'm going to say pick a story from this text file and embellish it. Embellish it as you are bragging in the local port tavern. Yeah. And then we're going to call this Tortuga V2. Hopefully with no capital T though. Port tavern. Whoops. I forgot. I gotta Tortuga v2.text. Helps if you can actually spell things. Alright, wait, Tartuga? Man, I was not having a good day. So what is this command, right? So this command says, can you even see it? Yeah, it's right at the bottom of the screen, but you can see it. So it's cat Tartuga v2.text. Alright, now the contents of Tartuga we're looking at here. It's a bunch of his random stories, okay? So Tartuga v2.text. Then we do a pipe, right? We say Olama run model. So we haven't actually put the model in. That would help. So if I say pirate latest here, that actually is essential. It's not going to work. So pirate latest. So that's my model that I just showed you how to make, right? And then you do a in quotes the prompt. So pick a story from this text file, embellish it as if. Oh, embellish it because you are drinking rum and bragging at the local port tavern. All right, go. Now, this is cool. I'm going to say this. This is cool, right? So he's going to think about it, which is usually really high quality as well. And then he's going to go ahead and do it. There he is. So he's now going to tell himself a big old story. Let me just make this bigger so you have a hope and hell of reading it. So it looks like he's just going to look. I think he's just doing the whole file. Yeah. And the thing is, guys, it's like you can just pass him any text file, right? Because basically what you're saying is show the contents of this and pass it to this with the prompt, right? And you can also do it in reverse. So you can say la-di-di-di-di prompt, and then you can have an inverse. It's like an includer or something. So include draft.text. Okay. So it's like you can do it this way round, you can do it this way round. So cat file name pipe Olama or Olama run, whatever model, your prompt, and then the little hat and the name of the file. As long as it's, you know, in the folder which you're currently working in, it'll work. Okay. So I hope that's, because like I said, and the thing is, you know, here. So if I just do that again, but then say hat the other way, it's going to write it to a file. So I'll say bragging at the bar.md. I mean, I'd probably say .text. I've noticed it doesn't actually mark things up in MD format, so may as well just do text for now. So we're just going to make him do it again, but this time he'll write it to a file called bragging at the bar. Hopefully. There it is. But he's still doing it. You know, because the cursor's still blinking, basically. Until it shows you the prompt again, It's actually just working on the problem. Usually the delay is actually him thinking, because he has to think. There we go. Bragging at the bar. So, all right, I need to think about everything I need to do. And then he goes on and he starts actually writing all of this stuff. Okay. Whoa. What the heck? The legend lived on 1. That's a strange bug. I've never seen that before. It's come up a bunch of times. Is it the same? It says like Tochi. There you go. Whatever it is, it's gone. It's always the same glitch. There's like a glitched out, like it does a space, but then it writes a bunch of random characters. It's the only thing I've noticed so far. Other than that, this is working like a dream, because you've got the basis for like an engine here, you know. And when you actually read the text, it's not that bad. I haven't given it any guidelines, so right now it should be pure chaotic drivel. All I've told him is, you're a pirate. Tell me stories about being a pirate. Read this file of stories that you wrote about being a pirate and brag more. More bragging. You know? So that's what he's done. And my method involves basically writing a bunch of stuff and then making the machine aware of the stuff and curating that stuff and then having it all work like a network, so that when it starts to write, it's not just writing, it's writing what you wanted it to write. It's the idea of controlling it, I guess. So this is all sort of very nice. But I skipped ahead a few steps, so I don't want to miss things out. So we've got curl URL, okay? So let's take something easy, like a news website. There's this news website that keeps spamming me. What is the name of it? Oh man, I've forgotten what it's called already. See, this is the trouble that they're in. You can't even remember what the name of their website is. They probably spent millions on that campaign. I don't even remember what they're called. And the joke is, I was like, oh, that'd be really good for a demo. Let's just do a Wikipedia article then. After Dark software. Okay, and so what we'll do is we'll just get my guide up. There we go. Right. So instead of doing, whoa, what the? What? I'm still writing, aren't I? Oh no. Was I still writing? I think I might have done something weird, guys. Is it scuffed? Is it still writing? I think it's still writing. Hang on, let me just check this. Close this. Bragging at the bar. I don't think he's still writing. I think he's finished. Yeah, he's finished. What's going on here? I think I broke it. So I'm just going to stop it. Yeah, I think I broke it. Okay, that's fine. So basically what I wanted to do was come back here and get rid of the cat Tartuga and instead say Wikipedia After Dark software, and then change the prompt to we are in the middle of a storm on the galleon. On your ship, even better. On your ship, but I need you to read me a summary of this, and we'll say Pirate explains screensavers. There we go. Hopefully it'll work. It might be that I need an actual web page, you know, and not like a weird link, but we'll try it. I thought so. We need an actual link. Like a hard link. I don't think you can actually get a hard link. Let's have a look. Wait, what's it say? Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to type curl because I'm smart. There you go. There we go. Curl. And I'm going to write Pirate Explains Screensavers.txt to text. Now, obviously, at this point, if you were thinking, oh, maybe I could, like, you know, have it read back to me. Yeah, you totally could. You just hook up the TTS to read a new file. So as soon as it's written, he starts reading the new file. So it's like a passing the baton, I guess. I bet you can't even download this. Some websites, they don't let you download things like this, you know. I think what you really need is like an actual HTML page link, you know. It's got to have an HTML, like a permalink, I guess you could call it. A lot of these websites are like database driven. We could always try it with the dreaded CNN. They don't even have it either, but it's just their main web page, so it might be an index, but it won't work either. So the problem you're up against is some websites, they actively block this kind of thing. So it's like, who are you gonna do this with? But the fact that you can do it is useful. Like, I tell you what, I know a website that's got one that isn't blocked. My website. Okay. Let's try it with my website. Index.html. I think it did it. Yeah. Wait. No? Isn't that weird? Is he thinking about it right now? Oh no, he did it. Pirate Explains Screensavers. Okay, let's see it. Where is it? What? Oh, okay. I am going to make that text bigger. And it's coffee time. Yar, hoist the sails, me hearties. So yeah, take a look at that. So I had him look at my website, 5below5.uk, and yeah, I'll just get that yar out the way and show the command I used and then put it back. So that's what I used. No, my website worked fine. Look, he's talking about all my work. Drift Johnson, his projects, links, and so on. So if you read him, so he's thinking about the web page here. And then he does his pirate summary of my website here. The only thing is, he's got this similar thing, this similar bug. There. For some reason, there's often like this random... But there we go, we fixed it now. Right, coffee time. We got the coffee. Lots of yar. So yeah, quick reminder. Why is my DeepSeek talking to me like this? Well, we showed you how to do model files earlier. And so it's a system prompt. No tricks. Now the question is DeepSeek R114B Q4, that was fast. Super fast. I could do loads of work with this. So what if I used one of my comedy developer prompts? Like, see, it's almost like, Right, I'm going to save this as modelfile.pirate because I just need something to back up what we've done here. But, and then save as again because it would have changed the path. Yeah. I believe I'm in my tools. Like test 2? No, test. And then what? Saving the modded model. Yeah, in Olama. Yeah, that's correct. So go back to that, say yes. Right, so by this, in fact, we've got a couple more things to do here, right? But my next thing to try here is you are an award-winning Python developer who always hands in complete code as a single file. What is my purpose? I normally say always hands in complete code on time, but less jokes, I guess. So that's the new one. I reckon you could do a lot more than this as well, because there's something I'm still getting to grips with, which is, I'm not ready to like show it off or anything, but I can tell you what the basis of it is. So if I click on any of these, let's go for that one. They come with a template. So I know it's possible to write your own template to do different things. So this is, I'm not going to pretend, because you have to like break down what it's saying, but they're very similar. But it's the details that matter. And I'm pretty sure that it'd be possible to alter the behavior if you knew how to set this up as well. But where I did try it out, but there was a syntax error. So clearly I don't have the full picture, so I need to learn more. But I'll get there. So we've got a bunch of parameters as well. But anyway, I need to learn more. So, like I said, generally when I get a hold of something, I chew on it until I get to the bone. So, but yeah, we're going to try doing this next and see how he goes. Or even better, actually, I got an even better idea. You're an award-winning HTML developer. And I don't even know if I want to say that now. Who always hands in Let's just keep it like that for now because it's easier, but that's not what I would actually want to do. Oh yeah, that's interesting actually. Right, so where are we on this? So let's just get rid of this line real quick and just catch up on this one, okay? I just want to go over something interesting, because I was talking to Mr. Super Fake Name about this. Because Fernicar just said the cognition system you developed, the ACE HFS holographic file system. Here's the interesting thing about that. So if I show you the GitHub for my thing, come on. So I had this prompt enhancer thing for the longest time, and it would make outputs from LLMs better. Simple, right? It was a cognitive enhancer, a turbocharger, whatever you want to call it, right? And we used it in loads of different things, okay? I use it with Claude projects all the time, but sort of lower ranked LLMs have trouble. You need to kind of like get a crank in and actually start the engine yourself. But the original one, this has got a lot of holographic file system stuff that doesn't really matter, but the important part is here. And the funny thing about it is, so priming, comprehension tracking, context clarification in cycles, and then redeploying prompts. So he's self-prompting himself based on the stuff that he already did, and then expanding a list, that's expanding, and then recursive. So then he does a loop to do it a bunch of times. This model does that already. That's what the think tag is. ACE used to give me the think tag from any model. Granted, this is a much richer output, but and it's under control as well, because it immediately informs the output, which is amazing. So I'm starting to wonder if, because all it is he doesn't do the virtual loop to the same degree, but you know, he doesn't think in a loop for a long time. But to be honest, it's almost like you might not need ACE in the form that it's currently in. So it makes me wonder if what would be more beneficial at this point is just to write a holographic file system alone, just the file system, right? And then, like I said, do a model file that tells him to simulate a Unix, and then automatically write think to the think folder, you know, stuff like that. And then you'd write a Python script to just pick up the actual output and present it. So user doesn't actually see any of this, but it is logged. But yeah, this is where I'm running with at the moment. So, but I'm starting to think that this whole chain of thought architecture is very similar to what ACE was doing. It was making them do priming, comprehension, context clarification, expanding elicitation, and then recursive ascension. It was doing all these things. And I think that it's already doing it. You know, like that whole... And the joke is that when I first started doing this, I used to put things in think tags. So, like when I started doing this, I used to put think, because I wanted to see his chain of thought. And you can do it. But anyway, we're going on. We're going on about stuff from ancient history. But yeah, so I think that maybe just the holographic file system is all I need to adapt. But yeah, because the thing is, I adapted it so that it copies everything it writes onto the hard drive. But anyway, let's get back to the fight. So we took a look at curl. So now the next thing, and this is really where it starts to get interesting if you ask me, you got Olama run, right, followed by the name of the model, followed by the prompt, and then a pipe, and then the output goes straight into the next one. And you could do this as many times as you want. Okay, so like here, let's make a little example, shall we? Because look, you can see down here I've already been doing all this stuff. But let's just make a new one, shall we? So first of all, we want to make that... no, we'll just use this one for now, because we've got it, it's running, it's nice and fast. So pirate latest. Pirate latest. And you could use DeepSeek, you could use different models as well. You don't have to use the same one. That's something else. You can mix it up and you can go through a whole bunch of different agents and have them all bounce off each other. And you can actually make crazy stuff by appended. I call it additive interpolation, where you're effectively you're adding new text to a document, but you allow it to decide the best place to add the text. Okay, what's this? So what are we going to ask him? He's a pirate. I'm going to say, okay, what is the name of your ship? And then for the second one, enrich this explanation with boasting and exaggeration. Okay, cool. So we've got a simple chain, and I think you could do that many, many times as well, which is so crazy. But yeah, we'll just chuck that in there. And the thing is, the reason I'm doing it like this is because it's possible to write simple scripts that can do this. Uh-oh. Did I do the wrong thing? Hang on. I spelt it wrong. Oh, it's got a capital P. Case sensitive, ladies and gents. Case sensitive. Oh, and also pirate doesn't exist either. So maybe I just suck. Alright. Go. There we go. It's cooking now. I just put in a crappy command. So the idea of piping one output to the next output, right? Look at him go. So we're going to get the first think, then we're going to get the first output, and then that output is going to get sent into the second, and then, so it's like text to text, you could say. But we only get the last one, I think. No, wait. Did I mess something up? Where's the second one? Hang on. Oh, maybe he actually just did it. Did he just do it? I think he just did it. Okay, well, so I'll say pirate ship origin dot text. Off you go. So it's really easy to put things together just with these command line options, right? You can also output to JSON, but I found that to be a little bit ropey. So like it's a bit hit and miss what actually ends up in the JSON. I found that half the time what was in the JSON file was the contents of the model file prompt, not the output. So always make sure that what it is you're doing is reliable before you go too far. So yeah, but if I open up pirate ship origin, have we got, yeah we do. So here we go, the black pearl. Ah yeah, so that's all we have here. If that's all we have here. But there was loads here. I mean, I know it's it was a different output, right? But look how much output we got from this. Is that the combination of two, maybe? I don't know. Makes me wonder. See, I want to try something that I haven't tried before, so let me just see if it's possible to do a bit of this. Ah, crap. I actually just wanted to copy that, but yeah, sure. The enter is copy. Who came up with that? Anyway. Okay, cool. So, let's try that again. I just want to see if this works. It might break the pipe. It might be you can't do both. Oh, great, I gotta... That's not what I was trying to do. It's not what I was trying to do at all. Go into a text editor and do it there. Like the one that I was using to demo the commands. That'd be a great place to do it. Right. Okay. Yeah, and I just did like that. So dash 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 appends dash will create. So if I said ship origin dot text like that, what I was trying to do was I was trying to see is if I can do that before the pipe and then append the second one after it. I don't know if that'll work, because I think, yeah. Otherwise one will overwrite the other. But I don't know if I can get away with doing that before there. It might be you can't do that. So let's find out. Nope. I can't do that because... Yeah, I can't do that. It's too complicated. It's probably because the file doesn't exist yet. It does make you wonder though, you know, like what else... Like imagine if I did... what was it called? I could do... Could do cat and then wait a minute, pirate ship origin, cat pirate ship origin there. That'll be interesting. All right. Let it go. I think I already made ship origin, but it's empty, so that's good. All right, let's get some more videos for the thing over there. There we go. Oh, okay, there it is. So again, we got this weird symbol, which is a bit strange, but we just replace it with nothing, and that's an easy cleanup. Okay. He's talking about how great the Black Pearl is at length. So I think he's 100% in character. I'm going to call that one a win and move on to the next step, which is, as you already saw, because I changed the model file. Just a reminder of what that looks like. If I can find it. So, you are an award-winning HTML developer who always hands in complete code as a single file. Award-winning, right? I don't want none of this runner-up stuff. And we're going to be basing it on the 14 billion Quen Distill Q4. So it's not a giant version that nobody can run. This is a 9 gigabyte model. Gives you plenty of overhead, and that will keep the speed up. I think we were right. yeah, sure, you can get the 32 billion on your 4090, but as soon as you start working with it, it's going to chug. So you need that 10 gigabyte overhead for the model to actually run, by the looks of it. Now, I don't know, that's not scientific, it's just vibes right now, okay, but it seems to be correct. So we've set that up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say create Olama, and it's going to be, I need to get back to here. Yeah, maybe the strange symbol is another language. Yeah, it could be. Probably Chinese. Okay. Big Q4. So 14B, Q4, and I'm going to call him Web Dev. That's what I'm going to call him, because you never know, it might work, right? Cool. And then we'll change this to a run command. And let's see what you can do. So, how about something simple? I want you to, what is it called? Plan? Could say plan. Well, he's going to do that anyway. It's a bit strange. I'm having to modify the way I would normally prompt for this model a little bit, but let's say create an index.html so that we can start working together on a new website. A new website. It should have a horizontal, I'll give it a few things, a horizontal menu at the top with placeholder. Did I need to? No, I think I'm okay. With placeholder, text, and labels. Yes. Yeah. Create the template with a dark mode that uses a cookie to save the preference of light or dark. Let's see if he even has a chance in hell. So he's going to think about it. And look at him go, he's making code. Okay. So let's see what it looks like, shall we? Copy that. We'll go in here, go to this side, new, save as, in the downloads folder, please. Ah, no, it can go in here, that's okay. Index1.html. Probably should have saved it as HTML. Hang on. Oh no, it's okay, it just did it by itself. Yeah, it should do, you know? Okay. You can give it a web address. Yeah. Well, we do a curl, couldn't we? We could do a curl. I'll do it with my address in a minute. We'll do that next. Get it to clone a template. Right? But yeah, he gave me a complete code as a single file. So let's just test it. Because it's all well and good, you know. Oh, he gave us the code. And then it's like, yeah, but did he though? Let's have a look at it. Oof. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. There's a syntax error in here. I haven't even looked at it, but we shouldn't be seeing all of this. So there's a syntax error in the code, but I bet you're like most of the way there. I bet if you put this into Claude, he would fix it. And that was part of the trick that I was trying to say earlier, was, you know, you can put all this output into Claudage. Okay, so there's your, like, you know, option 2, I guess. All right. Okay, let's get rid of that. So the next thing, whoa. It's nice and fast though. I want to compare it on speed somehow. It's hard to do actual. What's going on here? Right, turn that down. It's weird noises. Right. That completely destroyed my train of thought. Got some strange sounds coming out of the speakers. Okay, well anyway. So the one thing I wanted to show you was you can do prompts and then get the response and immediately run that through another prompt. Because at the moment we're actually in the chat. So now he's in, you know, web dev mode. What did I call it? I called it that. Okay. See, I don't see. I actually just wanted to copy that. Okay. What? It didn't even copy it. I got scammed. No. See? And I bet it didn't even copy it. See? Didn't even copy it. Right, I'm just going to write it myself because it's being lame. Like, it's even highlighted that and won't unhighlight. Oh, whatever. Right, I'm just going to write it myself. So we want to do the curl command. So the URL will be my website. The model will be the web dev I just made, which is DeepSeek-R1. Remember, I'm talking about it like, oh, you know, this is the one I made. Okay, all I did was wrap a model file. It's not like I have done anything really. I haven't trained anything. I'm not fine-tuning anything. It's just a fancy setting. It's like a message prompt, isn't it? It's just a fancy way of saying that. Right click is copy. Right click is paste for me on my system. So, right. Olama run DeepSeek R1 14B Q4 web dev, and I'm going to say, please examine this web page. Whoa. Can't spell, boys. Please examine this web page and design a clean template with placeholder image links. Yeah. That should probably be about it. Design a clean template. So I just wanted to clone it. Yeah. I need to clone this website. I don't know. I think that's probably about as obvious as I can make it. I need to clone it. Right click is copy and paste. Oh, that's news to me. Mind you, that probably makes a lot of sense because a lot of the time I'm trying to paste and it copies again. Copies nothing. I'm like, ah. There. Here we go. I'm going to rip my own website off. Ha ha ha. You might say, but hang on a minute, you could have just downloaded it. So why do you need to do this? Well, I could intelligently tell him to remove things. You know what I mean? I can say, make this white label, and it will go ahead and remove all of the references to anything. And then you can say, can you improve this? Right? That kind of thing. So let's just see if he's actually managed to do it, because he might have screwed it up. This is partly why we're doing this. So if I now go back into my notepad, paste it again. Let's try it again. And you've got to remember that the images are missing, or I don't know what links it's used, but that's interesting. Looks like the CSS is broken, but I don't think it is. It's kind of all over the place, but it's like you couldn't do this not so long ago. So I wonder what he's done. I mean, it does work. It's not, look, it's not great. I'm going to say that it's not great. It's a bit like cheese code, yeah, but eh. Okay. So this is like, because the thing is, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, look, it's good at this, it's good at that. And the reality is, it's like, it's so customizable, guys. I haven't even started looking at tools and stuff yet. So you can design your own tools that it can then use, right? It only came out yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? So it's going to be a while until we see it fully utilized, in my opinion. That's what I think we're looking at. Let's get rid of this. Right. So anyway, the way I did this was I made, obviously, custom model files for various different things, right? And you could say, oh, you just use a system prompt, you know? Yeah, sure, yeah. But the point is, I'm still experimenting with what it can do, so I'm going to try all kinds of stuff. But like I said, you want him to be a comedian, you want him to be a philosopher, yeah? Maybe you want to have multiple, you know, so you could have, like, you know, Bob, and then you could have another one that's Sally, and then you could have them talk to each other. You just write code which is going to send, you know, what does Sally say? Then what does Bob say? Then what does Sally say? Over and over and over again to Bob or Sally, who can read the context. They'll just talk to each other forever. It's easy. It's going to be easy to make this kind of stuff. So. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, like I said, you can just put whatever you want into your system prompts, bake the model file, and then when you're done, keep the model file for later if you want to make it again. And then obviously what I'm going to be doing is just basically like removing the ones that you know, because I don't need 16 pirates and 5 web devs, you know what I mean? I think just to save 9 gigabytes, I'm going to do a Olama RM pirate latest. It's a shame you can't autocomplete. And then also, I wonder what the Q8 is like. What's the speed of the Q8? To be fair, I think you're going to go over memory there, because like I said, if I need 10 gigabytes, 10 plus 15 is 25. That's the way I'm thinking about it right now. So even though I could easily run Q8 14 or even 32-bit Q4, I'm staying under 10 gigabytes. Yeah. And you could probably do the same. I mean, at the moment, I haven't really noticed a difference. Oh yeah, that was it. We wanted to see if we could get an even smaller one and see how that performs, because I know some of you guys don't even have So 8 billion, surely 8 billion you can, you know what I mean? Say you can't run 14 because you have an 8 gig card. So let's see what we can get with this one, yeah? Fernicar says, this is amazing. I see the potential. I hope everyone does. I mean, like, the weird thing is that I think this is like the watershed moment for LLM because, yeah, you could run LLM, but they weren't comparable to the big ones that you pay for. And this is almost like the moment when images became as good as Midjourney, you know, like anything you want to generate. So I think this is like, it's strange because you wouldn't have thought it. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have thought that, because, I don't know, LLMs have been around for the longest time, right? But it's almost like images. It wasn't really quite ready yet. And there's still work to be done, right? And I think they're just going to get better and better. But, I mean, you'll hear everybody saying the same thing. I'm not trying to, you know. So let's see, what should we use this for? Should we do the same thing? HTML developer. I got an idea. So I'm going to do a buy, and then I'm going to do a create, and then this one is going to be R1 8B 8B Q4 web dev, and then I'll go to my model file. And I'll have to change this bit so it says 8 billion R1 8B. Is that all it is? R1 8B. Just like that. Yeah. Okay. Like that. Save it, run it, there we go, and then dash. And the thing is, you could just distribute this, so you could, like, say I come up with an even better system prompt, I can just distribute the system prompt. You don't need, you know, because you can make your own. It's more like a wrapper, really, isn't it? You're like wrapping a system prompt into the model. So now I'll say I need a reactive background which makes colored circles that fall down with gravity, but also new ones are created at the location of the mouse when a user clicks the background. I don't know. This must run in HTML. That's what I need. Now get me what I need. Whoa, that was fast. I'll forgive him if he's, you know. Wow. So let's see how this one looks. Okay, take that. Go over here. And then go here. I'm just overwriting the same HTML file, guys. It's not important. Alright. Create circle. Oh! So you have to click on the button, but it did actually work. Hell yeah, look at that. And this is a small model as well. It only works 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. No, wait, 7 times, and then it stops. I think I'm breaking it. I don't know. But it is trying to do, you know what I mean? It's trying to do it. It's trying to do it. And I gave it like a horrible instruction as well. But anyway, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take the same prompt and we're going to go over to Klein and I'm going to take the same prompt. I'm in an empty folder, so let's see how it does with the big boy. So we've been running on local and this is super fast as well. Oh wow, look at that. Mr. Super Fake Name is saying that Open Web UI is updated and it's now basically Claude and it will render code and HTML in the chat. Yeah, that's what I remember. DeepSeek R1 1.5 wrote a snake game and it almost worked. Wow. And that's Mr. Super Fake Name coming through with the chat. What's he doing? He's still thinking about it. Oh, he's waiting for me to say stuff. Key features to implement. Would you like to proceed with default settings or customize the parameters? I'll just say proceed. Proceed. Fernicar said he'd like to use Open Web UI, but you have no AVX. So basically your CPU can't do virtualization. Is that it, Fernicar? So that was the only reason why I haven't been going on and on about how great Open Web UI is because everyone uses it with a Docker installation, and if you don't have virtualization, you can't do Docker on your local PC. So it's not an option, which is kind of sad. But yeah, the big test that we're doing here, by the way, we are planning, okay, we're planning, when ready, toggle to act mode. Okay, so here's the big one, right? At the moment, the best process that everybody's using is they use DeepSeek to plan, and then they go to act, but they switch to Claude first. So what we're doing is we are just going to stick with the full fat DeepSeek and see what we get. Okay? That's the plan. Because I've been using quantized DeepSeeks for all my testing so far. Like all the local stuff is quantized DeepSeek. The cheap API, which is like 69 cents for 1 million tokens, that's a quantized model as well. It's a distilled 70 billion parameter. Oh, 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 I think we've got something. Now look, I appreciate there's many ways that you could pass this challenge, okay? All I'm doing is I'm saying, random challenge, you know? And then see if he can nail it. He's still thinking about it. Maybe there's more to do. I'm not going to second guess our wait, it's not Claude. Our DeepSeek. Fernicar, I tried to emulate Haswell CPU with Intel's tool. Epic fail. Mr. Super Fake Name says that he just ran Open Web UI locally without Docker. Okay. I just googled it and it noped out. Let me see if I've missed anything else. Full Dive Media says Quen 2 14 billion Q4 is different than Quen 2.5 14 billion V4. Yeah, it is. 14 billion. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Fernicar said, I shared in the general channel the workaround Klein does to inject instruction into models like the internal versus Copilot. That's interesting. That's one of the current areas of research is writing, trying to create tools or write functions. I'm gonna figure it out, and it'll all be on my GitHub. Hey, look, it's trying to do it again. Right. Okay, we got the beginnings of something. Look at him go, dudes. I can't believe how good. I can't believe how good the little version is. It's amazing. But yeah, basically doing all the thinking. Okay. So it's like you have a prompt for Claude here, which is a detailed breakdown, step by step, of everything that needs to be done to achieve the goal, right? So, yeah. But I'm interested to see... Yeah, start. Oh, sheesh. They bounce. And they fade out. Oh, my God. My God. Hang on. Right. Ah. I could probably just said make dark mode like I normally do, but that came out so good. Yeah. So it's not fast like we're used to with Claude, but maybe we're spoiled by the alien technology that is Anthropic's Claude. The point is, this will run on local, and then when you use the full fat version, it actually does a great job at coding. You know, I'm not being funny, but you know, what was my prompt? It's not the highest quality prompt in the universelet. I need a reactive background which makes coloured circles that fall down with gravity, but also new ones are created at the location of the mouse. When a user clicks the background, it must run in HTML. So when I click, I get clusters of balls at the location. I didn't ask for the bouncing or the fade out. I guess we get that for free. And you might think, well, what's the point of this? Well, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want something? We'll see if it can do it for this much an hour. And then you can decide whether it's worth it or not, I guess. See, here's the thing. If it does what you wanted it to do, who cares? You know? Here's a challenge, right? Oh, wait. See, I don't want to mix things up. Don't get ahead of myself. But yeah, what I was going to say is, obviously, if we maybe gave it an example of my website, you know, and combined some of the things that we've looked at tonight, so like the curl command, you know, but obviously because I'm in a different setup, I got to do it a different way. So the way I would do that is I would like add it into this folder. It was like index 2, and I'd say like, oh, index 2, that's you know, index 2 is a thing, and right, you need to look at that and put the effect on that, you know what I mean? So then it's like, now when you're on my website, when you click on things that aren't links, this is happening, you know? And that would actually be a bigger challenge, because integrating it into something that isn't just empty code, that might be harder than it thinks. So do you know what? Let's do it. So did it actually download my index? No, it didn't. This isn't my index. No. So that means we've got to get my index. I think I can just download it from my website. Yeah, hang on. Did download it? So yeah, just save it. Yeah. Yeah. Index 3. What? Just rename the file. Copy that. What? Open this item to... There we go, I opened the item. Alright, calm down. It was having a seizure. Look at this. Some pictures have been blocked to help prevent you. Open it to view the pictures. It doesn't even have the block thing on it. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, I'm going to copy it, put it in here. Right. And now let's get back to Klein, mate. Whoa, 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 what's he doing? Why is he still... Is he still writing code? He's not finished yet. Oh, he's still doing style sheet stuff, huh? Okay, right, well, give him a minute. He's still working on it, mate. He wasn't even finished writing it. And I'm in there, like, clicking around and stuff. Oh, we can invert the colours now. Oh, no, we can't. I'm like, oh, wow, we can invert the colour. And the universe ended. Oh, damn. So, yeah, hang on. Let him cook. So what's he want to do? He wants to start the index. Okay, so maybe it works now. No. It's broken, mate. You broke it. You broke it, mate. Okay. When I click the invert colors, I expect a black background. But I have a white background and the balls cannot be spawned by clicking. This is the worst case scenario, by the way. We're nearly up to $1 now. But it would have been $2 with Claude. But then again, it probably would have worked first time with Claude. See, these are the things you've got to like kind of take a mental balance, you know? So it's like, I think coding is one of the hardest things to do. So you do need, you know, I think using the chain of thought model for planning and then switching over to Claude is going to be the most successful, right? But at the moment, what I want to do is I want to see where the edges are, you know? Where are the edges of the capability? Because test scores are fine, but they don't really, you know, they don't really tell you the full picture. So usually I'll just give him some easy thing to do and see if he can do it. And like I said, he did a good job on that one. Really what I wanted to do was invert it just to see, because the thing is, a human would have come along and gone, oh, my boss has told me he wants to invert the background. So there'll be a button that literally just makes the background black. And then you click it again to make it white. And I got the feeling that what it did was maybe a little bit more than that. Because sometimes that's what it does. It'll completely rewrite the entire code. And the thing is, like, people always wanted, you know, what was it called? The replicator from Star Trek, right? Would you, you know, if you could just, like, generate a VLC player, if you could just generate a VLC player to play videos, would you ever download VLC again? I'd be like, probably, yeah, because it's, like, really developed. But if you're just looking for something basic, you know, maybe... Because I think there's skins, isn't there? I've never actually seen a VLC skin. It was always lightweight, so I don't think it has it. Maybe I'm wrong. But the point is, the idea of being able to spin up apps for a specific purpose. Oh. Did the internet drop out? That's never good. I mean, luckily we're coming to the end of the show, but, you know, right in the middle of my backswing? Come on. Fernicar says... Oh, hang on a minute. There's a whole bunch of chats. So stuff just... Okay, right. So we had a little bit of a lag there and a load of chats appeared. So let's see what I missed. Fernicar said, if you expand each API request in your client chat, you will see the workaround they use to make DeepSeek work. Game changer. If you expand each API request, right. Oh, feedback. Oh, wow. It's a bit garbled. Replacing file for script.js. Content successfully saved. Here is the full updated file of the script that was saved. Replacing file. Hang on. Write to file for style CSS. Here it is. Final file content path style.css. Yeah, true. That is interesting to be able to see all of this stuff. Replacing file was not executed because the tool's already been used. Attempt completion was not executed because the tool had already been used. This is what I mean by creating tools. I want to know more about how this stuff works. There's exposed machinery. I need to see how it goes together. What's this? Start animation. Yeah, it's code. What's he doing? Please retry with the tool use. Tools are formatted in XML style tags. This is exactly what I was looking for. The tool is used in opening and closing what? Tags. For example, attempt completion result. I have completed the task. Result attempt completion. Always adhere to the format. Man, I think that there's a strong possibility we're going to end up writing a bunch of these. Because it looks like they're doing what I was doing. It's XML-based instruction, which is what I was doing. In fact, a lot of my stuff is still written like that. But I need to know what the rules are, what the syntax is. And then I can make some crazy tools for these things. Act mode. I don't know if this is like only specific to Klein or if it's for everything. This is the thing I'm still a bit like a bit confused about myself. Gacha AI is coming, says Fernicar. I think they make mistakes on purpose to charge you more, says Electrolab. Well, look, how hard would it be to say, you know, dip the top P for every 3 out of 4 posts. You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 requests. Just change the top K or whatever. I don't think it would be hard. Okay, so we've got our spawning balls. And we got invert colors. Yes! He did it! Persistence is key, ladies and gents. There it is. It works. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back that up, because that actually works, right? This would be DeepSeek dev HTML, okay? And so for my last trick, we're going to do new task, and we've got everything open here, right? So I'm going to open up Index 3, which is my website, okay? And I'm going to say to DeepSeek, I have a new fun effect. A new fun user interactive effect where, okay, we're talking about, well, he's a web developer, he knows, it's already in the context of web development. I have a new fun, yeah, does matter, it does matter, it's got to sound natural. I have a fun new user interactive effect for my website, which allows the user to spawn colored balls when clicking on the background. Excuse me. Whoa. This is going to be hard, actually, I've realised, because I'm not going to mention the dark mode stuff. Okay. I need to include this new code with my current main website template. Okay, so now I just need to give them, so I don't know if this will work, but index3.html is a page from my main website. Index.html is the effect I need to be merged or incorporated to the design. Please create a new file named index4.html. We're being very creative tonight. Which will feature my user interactive effect with my main website templates. If he can figure this out, what do we actually need? What do we need? Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say everything gets a lot cheaper. Let's check the comments. Fernicar says, each time they start with error, they are forcing the injection again to make it work, just like you did. Interesting. Electrolab says, inverted, because we got it to work. Fernicar says, the error trick is used even in API provider Copilot GPT 3.5 Turbo Client option. The free Copilot tier is not limited to DeepSeek only. Interesting. What on earth has he done? I'm reading the code and I'm like, what the hell has he done? Mind you, maybe some of this nonsense is from where I saved it. So he's doing it. I need to analyze index 3, so that's my main website, which he's done. Now I need to analyze the ball effect code from index. So he's looked at my template, then he's looked at the code, the new code. And then he knows he's got to include the external files, the style sheet and the JavaScript. The hard part is that there's no night mode on my website, whereas he has a load of night mode code. right? So he's got to figure that out. Read file. Error. Weird. Maybe it's because it needs all of the other files to see the full context. It could be. Don't know. What the heck? That was like a Renaissance oil painting. It's really funny at picking out people that look a little bit like Alf. Oh, here we go. It's springing into order. See, it's a bit... Look, people said it's a bit slower. It's thinking about it. It has to think about it. It's not slower. It's thinking about it. The other models didn't think about it. That's the biggest difference. It has to think about it. And it has to tell you what it thought, too. See, this is why I'm thinking about writing a program that sits between the DeepSeek API, gives you a UI, and yeah, it'll be slow because it can't show you what doesn't exist yet, but at the same time it'll, like, you know, separate the thinking from... That's what I want to do. I just want to separate it, so I don't mind seeing it, but it's almost like, you know, it can be in the logs, to be honest. So if you want to see it, it's there. But yeah. And like I said, I don't want to go ahead and engineer something crazy when there's probably like an easier way of doing it. Hello, I think he's finished. And you got to remember, this was created from scratch, from just a text. You know, I want this. You see? And then this was created by having him look at what he'd already made. So the thing is that you could actually do this whole process in one go, because I could have just passed the output to the, you know, you have, anyway, you can chain, or you could chain the prompts. But the thing is, this is really clever because it's doing a lot of tool use. This is why I like Klein. Like, it was fun using the command line, but there's a lot of copy pasting that you have to do. And what this is doing is it's seeking out lines of code, editing them, changing them. I will say though, these short models that we have are so much faster. So much faster. It's like you've got to like plan how you plan how you plan. The Klein source is on GitHub, so you can mimic that logic. Yeah, I agree with you, Fernicar. If you can get the link, chuck it up in the Discord and I can give it a little read later on. Okay, so he's just happily editing away. The reason I told him to do it on a new file, by the way, is that's obviously safer. He can edit the file that you want to edit on him. You know, you can have him just edit the file, right? But I think it's probably better and safer to always make a new file and like copy the file and then do the changes. What the heck? Well, this is what? Why is there a Microsoft link? All I got, do you know what happened? All I got was the night mode stuff that I didn't want, and then Microsoft in the top, which leads to my website. What? So no, that didn't work. Having him combine the things. Oi. Oi. Right, okay. So he didn't do it. Let's see if he can fix his own thing. I'm going to say this. Okay, since the change, the web page is either white or black. Hey, did the thing work? Oh, the thing works. He's either white or black, and the main website cannot be seen. Did he do it the wrong way round? Did he do it the wrong way? Do you know what I mean? Did he do it the wrong way round? Doesn't look like it. No, he didn't do it the wrong way round. Oh yeah, look. That's the saved from. Yeah, he did it the wrong way round. He transferred the entire thing. He transferred the whole thing over and just wiped out the original. A canvas background is covering the website. So the canvas element needs transparent background. So what's he going to do? Make the canvas transparent. So he cheated. Invert colors was just changing the background. Look. Body class inverted. Hang on, I need to see the style sheet now. This is funny. So he did what I said. Like, that's because that's what I would have done, to be fair. It's just funny because it's like a lazy choice. So if I go to the CSS file here, maybe it'll show it to me one day. Oh no, okay. I tell a lie, he did it with CSS properly actually. He didn't just change the background color. He did actually create an inverted class and, you know, do it all proper. So you got inverted. There you go. Okay. Alright, I take it back. I take it back, even though it's less funny now. So yeah. How you doing over there, Claude? What's he doing? He's editing the style sheet. Here is the full updated content of the file that was saved. See, I'm liking this. I told him, always give me full complete files. And guess what he's doing? He's always giving me full complete files. Which I do like. Oh wait, this isn't my model. This is using the API. So he does it he does it already. Using the tool. That's what you want. Oh dear. He's having trouble with that last command there. Kind of screwed it up, I think. Compare, restore. Oh, come on. Give us a like for the Alpha's King Kong. It's trying so hard. He's gonna delete all the CSS. It's a strong move. But are you gonna write any you know, you're gonna write any CSS though? Uh-oh. Did he just delete all the code and then was like, oh, I failed. Don't do that. He just broke it. Like, it's clearly not better than Claude when it comes to the act mode, but for planning, it's amazing. So, he looks like, look, he's having trouble. He's having trouble. You're going to get in real trouble in a minute because you deleted it, mate. He deleted the style sheet and then started bugging out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you all right there, matey boy? So just in case you're wondering and you joined recently, oof, look at that, you've run out of credits. He's used all of my stuff up. Anyway. Wait, what? 120,000 tokens required, 117,000 available. Alright, fair enough, whatever. So I've run out of open router credits, ladies and gents. Now let's see, can I go to one of the things? This one. This one? Maybe it was this one. Restore task. Yes. There we go. Because it's kind of pointless, you know, if it deletes all of its CSS and then is like, oh, you got to pay more money. That's brilliant. But, yeah. So at the moment, it does seem like, although it can write code, it's nowhere near as good as Claude 3.5. But here's the thing, I'm not always trying to write code, you know. I use AI for all kinds of different things. And it does feel like the little boy, what is it? Show info. It does look like Llama 8 billion on Q4. So that's DeepSeek 8 billion on Q4 is very usable for local because it's so fast. And so I'll be focusing on that, the time saving, you know. I can write high quality, that's my job, but if I want to write low, because, you know, think about the stuff that you write that is of virtually no value, yeah, and so it's like you can just generate that. You can generate that with this locally all day, you know. Yeah. Write me 10 poems. And he's a web developer, so this should be interesting. Web developers poems, just like that. It was so quick, and that's what I'm interested in, the speed. Okay, so when we come back, Wednesday is like the big midweek show, so we're going to be doing more DeepSeek tomorrow. We'll be starting at the normal time of 6 o'clock. We normally go on for 3 hours, so that's 6 till 9 GMT, but we might overrun a little bit if we're having fun. Okay, so it probably will go on until 10 o'clock, so that'll be about half hour ago. Because generally speaking, if I'm in the middle of the groove, I'm not just gonna, oh, time. We finish when we're at a nice finishing point usually, unless I gotta be somewhere. Okay, so I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you ever so much. Be sure to get yourself some open router credits. Check out DeepSeek. Don't forget, Distill Llama. Look at the price difference. 7 million. $7 for 7 million. 0.69. Okay. And this is still good. Distill Llama 70 is still good. Tonight I was testing the full fat and I burned all my open router credits for you guys so you could see, you know, what it's capable of, what can it do. It's actually really good, but it's not as good as Claude, bottom line. And we can get everything that we need to get done with this one, which is like, you know, if I show you the prices for OpenAI, you know, it's eye-watering the difference. Okay, so that's it, guys. Good stream. It didn't code the poem. Yeah, I thought it was going to do like a HTML type poems, to be honest. But hey, look at that. It's waxing lyrical, so it does a great job. I'm a big fan. We're going to be using this for loads of stuff. You can expect it to be in a lot of my projects over the next couple of weeks. So again, thanks everybody for joining. Please like the stream. Please subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you next time. And I'll be back tomorrow at 6. See you next time.
Running dirty. You win the toss. eyes are deep.